Hello and welcome to this boss guide for the Uwasa of the Anonymous AI. This boss is not that strong by itself, but it can summon two different mobs. One of them will buff her attack, and the other one will curse one of your character, which will trigger the boss ability to attack an additional time. The boss skills are not too impressive. Her MP reduction might be annoying, as 50% MP is quite a lot. I recommend using your special attacks before she uses this skill, but there are scenarios where you might want to save your specials for later, so only needing to generate half the required MP is fine. One of her skill will directly reduce a fixed percentage of HP of one character, completely bypassing your shields if you have one, but the damage is pretty low, and since it scales of your HP, any attack buff she might have is irrelevant. One of the problem with this boss is that you can't know in advance which attacks she's gonna use during the turns where she can attack twice, but we at least know that it can't be her MP reduction, so she won't just remove your special attacks out of nowhere. But you should make sure that none of your character are cursed when she uses her MP reduction, because it's guaranteed that she will use it again. As I said earlier, she has two summons and will always summon both of them at the same time. The attack buff of the first one might sound threatening, but it does almost nothing if none of your characters are cursed. The curse mob is probably the most annoying enemy in this fight, since all team building restrictions come from him. He's the one that forces to bring a healer with ailment removal, and he will punish you if you use a defender. It's still possible to use a defender but not as a solo sustain, and you shouldn't use their barrier while this mob is alive. As usual, the battler mode fight is the exact same, but the boss is stronger and gains some resistances. The main priority in this fight is to kill the curse mob, since as soon as it's dead, the boss can't get more additional attacks and the attack buff of the other mob becomes a non-issue, until the boss summons again at least. If you're able to deal with the curse consistently, you can even leave the buff mob alive, since it won't be a problem at all. You should try to bring AoE characters in this fight, but it's not a necessity, it will just be a bit longer since you need to stop attacking the boss to kill the mob. In Nightmare, the fight will start with two mobs already on the field, and she now attack 3 times on even-numbered turn, and up to 4 times if one your character is cursed. The boss doesn't hit too hard without attack buffs, so you might still survive, but try your best to not trigger it. Her single target skill now remove buffs, making defenders even harder to use. And her MP reduction now remove around 90% of your MP. So there's no point in saving your special attacks, since if you have to get back this much MP, you might as well get the value of using it. The buffer mob is the same, but the curse mob can now curse 3 characters at once. On top of that, the damage of the curse is now a real problem instead of just a bit of chip damage. Overall, the mobs are way more dangerous, but you can use the same strategy to deal with them, since most healing skills can also affect 3 characters at once, so unless you had a shield, you can still remove the curse from all your team. The curse mob is still the main priority, since their whole synergy disappear without it. So even if using AoE characters is good, if you can kill it more easily with a single target damage dealer, you should do that. Alright, now let's look at which characters are the best for this fight. Unlike my previous guides where I only talk about characters that are particularly good for the fight, I'm trying a new tier list system. This tier list is only for this specific fight and isn't ranking characters for any other content. Since we want to remove the curse before the other mob can use its buff, supports with action advance are really good to give more turns to our healer. Mommy's MP recovery increase is also really good against the boss MP reduction. IM is not really necessary since you don't need to remove the attack buff in most cases, but she's still usable. The best damage dealer is Momoko, since she has an elemental advantage and can hit 3 enemies at once. Yachiyo and Kyoko lack Momoko's AoE capabilities, but their elemental advantage allow them to deal huge damage. Hamura and Matakami are really good everywhere, so they're obviously good here too. And this is one of the rare bosses where Eriko can shine, since the battlefield will always be swarmed with enemies, so her damage output will be pretty high. Pluvia Madoka is the best breaker thanks to her AoE and the ton of MP she gives to the team, which will help them get back their special attack after the boss drains all your MP. And Rina is single target, but she has an elemental advantage and deals a ton of break gauge depletion. She can also delay the boss once she's broken, which might extend the break window enough for you to kill in one break. I put Iroha in a tier since she might help generate a lot of skill points, but the more I think about it, the more I think she might be B tier. This doesn't mean she's bad, just that Madoka and Rina are that good for this fight. All the other 4 stars are pretty decent either thanks to their elemental advantage for Saika and Karen, or thanks to their AoE for all the others. Although I put the healers and defenders together, healers are generally better since defenders will give more action to the curse mobs if you use their shields, so you can't use them without a healer as a second sustain. Ryra is pretty nice since she can remove ailments even when it's not her turn, but the boss MP reduction can drastically reduce her performance. The safest way to do this fight is with a double sustain team, but if you have a few of the top tier characters for this fight, you can easily replace a sustain with another breaker or support. That's it for this guide. As usual, a video of the fight is available in the description, and if you have any question don't hesitate to leave a comment. Also for those who have seen some of my previous guides, I'd like to know what you think of this tier list system to talk about which characters are the best for the fight, or if you preferred when I only showed the best characters with an overview of what they do. Goodbye and see you soon.